Howdy folks, it's Alternative here and welcome back to Eternia SMP, and I'm just hanging out on my porch. And you are correct, I didn't say it this time. Just hanging out on my porch, and we're gonna have a fun little video today. Pretty simple video. Actually, yeah, I mean simple in terms of what I do, but not simple in terms of subject matter, I guess. It'll make sense in a minute. Anyway, just hanging out on the porch of my cool little farmhouse, and I'm looking in the two rooms. You can see the bedroom there, and then the sort of bedroom there. It's kind of fun looking at windows like this. Totally not what I was going to say in my intro, but here we go. I rehearse all my intros, and they never go as I rehearse them. Anyway, looking in windows, my wife and I go on walks at night because it's dark at like 4 o'clock now here in the upper Midwest. And it's kind of interesting. People where we go, they don't shut their shades because their houses are like set up as display, like $10 million houses in the next neighborhood. So they leave the curtains open, like display houses, right? Like every room is set up to be seen from the street. Does that make sense? And it's a rich, it's an uber rich person thing. So you like see somebody in the library there and somebody in the kitchen or dining room there, but they can't see each other because there's walls because these houses are too old for open concept. But you can see both people at the same time, but they can't see each other. It's a super interesting thing. Anyway, welcome back to Eternia SMP. And I'm going to show you my next build, which you can kind of see above my head. And you can see above my head there too. Look at that. There's walls. So at first I was going to do a lot of this next build on my own and then take a video later, which is what I've been doing quite a bit lately. But then I decided, why am I doing that? Sometimes it's cool. Like if I'm doing a huge project, instead of making 25 videos on one project, I just do a few. But why not show you some of the build process of my projects? Especially now that I'm having more time to play, because I don't know how long I'm going to have time to play. And I might go back to once a month again. Right, I've been playing a little bit every other day, every third day. But that could be temporary. Just depends on what's going on in my IRL. Anyway, just enjoying the farm and the city and everything. I'm going to give my wife a tour of this farm. She has not seen much of my Minecraft stuff. It's almost like a secret life. But she's really interested in seeing this farm built. So I'm trying to decide if I want to make a video of this farm with her reaction. It wouldn't be on camera, but it'd be on microphone. So I'm trying to decide if we're going to do that or if I'm just going to show her on my own. Have a little farm date, Minecraft date. Kind of funny. I love the city skyline from that angle. It looks small, but it ain't. Anyway, alrighty, let's go to my next build. I had more I was going to say, and I totally blew it. Like I said, I rehearsed my intro, and I screwed up my intro. So where this ended up last time is right here in the side of this little tiny hill. But this is all new now, so I built a little walkway going up. And look at this. We have this walled city. Very interesting. Very straight. That's not a floating tree, is it? No. Okay. This hill is where my house is going to be. I was supposed to build my house first. I just didn't feel like it. But my house is going to be up there. Anyway, none of this is protected out here, but I'm not terribly worried about it. There are some funny things to say, though, when I talk about this part. We'll get there. Anywho, what is this place? It is not a British castle lawn. That doesn't mean anything to you, but my wife and I used to watch these like garden videos on Netflix, and they had like castle lawns. Anyway, this is not a castle lawn. What this is going to be, because this is going to be my teeny mini version of Pompeii, and I assume my audience knows what Pompeii is, but never assume, right? So Pompeii was a very ancient city in Italy that was destroyed by a nearby volcano. But the reason it's so special is because the way the volcano happened, it destroyed everything so fast, it's been preserved in history. So archaeologists are able to tell what time of day it was based on the status of the bread ovens. They're able to tell what was going on and how people lived based on their positions when they were mummified instantly. So it's a very interesting thing to have happened. Because it leaves a very clear snapshot. I was inspired by this because I recently watched Smarter Every Day's most recent video, at the time of this video, and Destin from Smarter Every Day, I don't know if you know that YouTube channel, it's an interesting YouTube channel. It does have a lot of flaws I'm learning as I get more educated on the things that he talks about. But it's interesting. It's a good start to learn things, and then you can just go from there if you want to learn more. Anyway, he recently did a video on Pompeii, and it was interesting to watch because I knew a lot about Pompeii, but I still learned a few things. He talks about lifestyle and things. It is a very tone deaf video, and it's a very narrow video. And he's called out in the comments by people from around the world who are much smarter than the average American. So if he can just get through his like completely naive, ignorant, tone deaf commentary, it's a really good video to watch because there's a tour guide that does most of the talking. And Destin's wife is a brilliant woman, and she says much more intelligent things. Which, Destin on Smarter Every Day is literally a rocket scientist, but he comes from the perspective of a traditional cliche, super conservative, religious person. And you can hear that all throughout the video. But anyway, if you can get beyond that, check out his video on Pompeii. It's very interesting. So that's what this is inspired by. Also because my cousins, I have rock star cousins who were literally rock stars in the 90s in the grunge era and worked with some very famous people who I got to meet when I was a teenager, but I didn't care at the time. One of the projects, I'm not going to drop names just because I don't want all this to be like Googled and have me found out too because I'm part of whatever. One of their projects had to do with music about Pompeii. It's like a rock opera about Pompeii. You may or may not know what I'm talking about depending on your musical taste of the 90s. So anyway, between those two things, I'm like, I want to build a mini Pompeii. So that's what this is. So that's a long introduction to why we're walking around this field. All right. So yeah, check out the Smarter Everyday video. Just Google Smarter and YouTube, put in Smarter Everyday. It's super easy to find because he has like a bazillion subs. So easy to find. And then my cousins have a rock opera with a very famous person as one of his side projects. Anyway, so okay, moving on. So how did I build this? Well, it's pretty obvious, right? I put up a wall, right? Well, it wasn't that easy actually. I had just enough sand. Oh, look at that! I messed that up. That's the wrong block. Anyway, I had just enough sand. If I find another inside corner, I can fix that. To build the walls and to make sandstone. I had some sandstone, but you can also make sandstone by using 4 pieces of sand, but you don't get the same yield. So if you put in 4 pieces of sand, I think you only get like 1 sandstone. So you get a quarter. Okay, we can, this might drop down below. You'll see what I mean in a second. I want to grab this piece. And there you go. Okay. So it took a lot of sand to do this. Remember in the previous video, I think I said I needed like 40,000 pieces of sand. Or yeah, 40,000 pieces of sand to make 10,000 sandstone. You'll see why I'm hesitant to touch that in a minute. Where'd that? Oh, just one of these things. Oh, I already had everything. Whatever. I'm getting sidetracked again. I rehearsed this whole video. None of it's going as planned. So I said I needed 40,000 pieces of sand to make 10,000 pieces of sandstone, and then I put the sandstone in the oven to make smooth sandstone. And this is all I have left. I didn't start 40,000 pieces. I need to get 40,000 pieces. So if I have time in this video today, depending how much I yap, we might actually go grind for some sand today. We'll see. Anywho, so I decided I wanted to build, and I'll show you the aerial view on Dynamap 2 in a little bit. Ooh, it's almost bedtime. I wanted to build a squarish city, ancient city, to represent mini Pompeii, Pompeipito, or something I might call it. I don't know. And I wanted to go from forest to forest. I went along this forest. I did have to cut down some trees to shape it. I went to that forest, did not cut down any trees. Came back here, cut down some trees. I have to cut down that tree because it's actually overlapping the wall. I just didn't do it yet. And the reason why this side isn't square is because there's a river there. And we'll fly around a little bit, and I'll show you this from the air, and I'll show you Dynamap 2, since nothing's built yet. And there's that river here, right? So this goes to the river. Well, I should put a wall up here so I don't fall off. Now this might be a building. We'll see. Anyway, so there's the river going through, and then there's going to be the house on the hill, and then I don't want me to go over there yet. I'll do something. Anyway, so I put up my wall, put my boundary, and then I started laying down the streets, which are all cobble, and then the sidewalk, which is all sandstone slabs. And I wanted it to be one level. I did not want it to be terraced, but the ground basically is a long sloping hill leading to this point and then staying up for the farm. Because if you remember on the side of the farm, there's that shore, that steep bank to the river. So I had to terrace it, or else we'd be like 15 blocks above ground level over here, and it would have been ridiculous. Oh, see, yeah, see, this is supposed to represent the volcano of Pompeii, right? In real life, which is coincidence. I didn't plan it that way, but I didn't realize you could see that from here until I started building. So it's perfect because this will get way higher as we get closer. These are renders in. But anyway, so okay, I'm not staying to my script here that I don't even have script. Anywho, this is supposed to be a very quick, succinct video, but it's a turtle video. You'll never get a quick, succinct video from me. It's not my style. Anywho, so I had to terrace it. So I just lined up the terraces so they all line up. There's another terrace down here. And what I mean by that is the stairs all line up. Every set of stairs lines up. Every set of stairs lines up. But of course, because I also had to terrace it here and kept it level there, we end up with this wall here. Because I didn't want stairs in two directions. So we just end up with a wall here, retaining wall, and then this tiny little road. It's gonna be like an alley back here. Alrighty. So I have my roads, I have my sidewalks, and then I had to put the grass down because obviously it wasn't level ground because there's no way this is naturally this perfect. So I just laid out grass. I didn't have to because I'm going to dig it up anyway to put floors in and stuff for the buildings. But I wanted a clean slate to start from so I could see it all and imagine it all. But underneath it's open and it's not lit up very well on purpose. So at some point we should hear mobs like ghosts. So those are supposed to be like the ghosts of the people who used to live here. So there should be mobs underneath at some point. We might hear some. I mean, there are some torches just so I could build and not get attacked because I had to go this long route and things could spawn this distance. But for the most part, it's pretty much hang on, I'm thinking screenshot time with the sunset. So for pretty much it's open under there. And we should be getting some mob activity at some point. Alrighty, so yeah, so I built the grass as a clean slate, even though it's going to be dug up for floors. I did the terrace. The roads don't line up on purpose. So you'll see, if you go like this, they zigzag a little bit. They're all 3 wide, but they don't line up, and that's on purpose. Well, bedtime. And we can bring the bed with us. If it'll chop up, thank you. Put my bed there, please. And now we have sunrise. So that's the layout. What is it going to be here? Well, oh yeah, so I'm finally eating something besides beef. I've been eating chicken and I've got mutton. I have all these other animals I'm just trying to like eat up before they spoil, before we get a new world someday. And then if I do run out of food, I'll just go back to harvesting cows. Anywho, I like the views we get, right? Because we're going to have some towers too. Like we'll probably have a tower here, tower in the middle, tower in the corner maybe. But what's going to go here is going to be buildings without roofs. So when I showed you the Pompeii thing on Google Maps just a bit ago, they didn't have roofs, right? I mean, there's all grass now in between the walls, but that's because it's been thousands of years. But I might have grass in some of this, maybe not. Anywho, buildings without roofs, without ceilings, just walls, torn down. The only blocks I'm going to use for this entire build are these here. So we got smooth sandstone in its various types, and cut sandstone in its various types. There are not cut sandstone stairs for some reason, but we might use some walls a little bit. Then we got the chiseled stuff, just whatever, every once in a while. But this is all I've got. Obviously, I need more than that, right? I'm going to need thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces because each building is going to be very small, maybe 2 or 3 blocks each in between. So lots of walls, at least 3 high, maybe some 4, maybe some 2. I want it to look kind of destroyed, but kind of preserved. So it's not going to be like ruins, but it's not going to have roofs or anything. Roofs. But yeah, so that's how it's going to work. I might have some paintings in there. But anyway, I'm just going to use these blocks. That's it for all the stuff in here. It's going to be lit up with torches. I know people are like, oh, you're not supposed to use torches in Minecraft if you've been playing for more than a day. But no, because of the ancientness of the city, it's going to be lit up with torches. I might have like street lamps, like ancient street lamps or something every once in a while. but mainly it's going to be lit up with torches. So torches and a bunch of sandstone of various types. I'm going to try to not use regular sandstone with the blocks other than my sidewalk. I might have a few walls. I just did this to show myself where the walls would be and what level I needed to put things on. And remember, the wall is this wall is to keep people out, not in, because stuff is going to be built up against it. Anyway, so that's it. It's going to be that simple. I say simple, but I need to grind for like 40,000 pieces of sand. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a really big build. So anyway, I think that's what I wanted to say about how it's going to be built. Yeah, see, there's no normal sandstone here except the wall, just because that's the only wall option, and that's the only stair option that isn't regular sandstone. I wish you had a cut sandstone stair. They don't, it's just smooth sandstone stair. I'll check again, but I'm pretty sure you can't get a cut sandstone stair. Alrighty, the view. I love when you're here and when you're in a tower, you can be able to see the farm and the city a little bit, and then the house on the hill you'll see. And then down here, this mountain starts to render in. In fact, I can probably fly around at this point. This mountain starts to render, and see that? Isn't that cool? So that's going to represent the volcano that that took out this city a long time ago. That's what that represents. See, there's the city there. So you can see the outline of it, right? It's pretty squarish, except for this that follows the river. And then over here, I'll just find not the swamp. Ooh, whoa, gosh, that's new too. Oh, I have never been here. Nope, Dynamap is filling in. Anyway, my house on the hill is going to be over here somewhere. Right here. That hill is huge from this angle. So this area got to fill in somehow because it's mine. And then, as I said in the map overview thing, and then I'll show you Dynamap overview in a minute, but we're going to want to have like an exit here and probably like a path. So tourist ships or cruise ships can dock here, and then people can come and visit, being like a tourist area. So yeah, so that's what it looks like. And then I have an area here. But anyway, so one funny thing before I show you Dynamap view is I thought I had cleaned up all these caves when I did my caving episode a few weeks ago. But as I was over here, there's an enormous cave entrance. Like enormous cave entrance right under here. And it was, wait, where's it? Where'd it go? Over here somewhere. I don't know. I covered it up. But yeah, oh yeah, because if you go here, then go underneath me. Enormous cave entrance. And nothing came out to get me until I started covering it up. And then I just got a swarm of mobs. It was really funny because I told myself, oh, it's all protected. But anyway, so I think that's all I need to show you from in-game. So let's jump over to Dynamap and I'll explain an aerial view because it looks pretty cool from the air. So if we're looking at Dynamap, here is my layout for my next build. So here's the farm, just for orientation, right? Here's the farm, and then come up here. I don't know why Dynamap isn't loading. That is very strange. Whatever. I don't know what's happening. Anywho, so this is it. This is a little road. This will be the house on the hill. The railroad is going to come through here, the mountain, and then it's either going to go alongside the building like this, or the walls like this to come back here into this mountain, or might just go alongside here on the river or over here and cross the river into the mountain. Originally I was going to have it be elevated over the city, but I don't like the idea. So I got to do something with the railroad. My plan is to get to the next stopping point. So you come through the mountain, you come over here, run into mountain, stop. I don't know. I got to do something about the railroad. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. So house on the hill. And here's the build. You can see the roads don't line up perfectly, and that's on purpose. And the different plots are different sizes. It'll be filled in with many buildings per plot. Not one building per plot. Many buildings. And then I'll probably have an exit here to get to the water. And then surely we'll have an exit here with a road going to a dock for like cruise ships. So cruise ships can dock, and then people can come tour. They can buy some pumpkins afterwards or something. So my base right now has been expanded to like this area here. This is the next natural cutoff, is the water, and then the base of the mountain. However, and why won't this load? What is going on here? Oh, now I screwed it all up. What the heck is going on? That's better, kind of. There we go. Now it's working. Okay, so anyway, so this is the natural cutoff of my base. However, I kind of have pre-claimed all the way up to the ocean. Because if the world stays around for quite a bit longer, and I fill in this little thing here, and I fill in the house thing here, and then I come back and fill in this area here. This is, I've already done this, but if I fill in this area and I'm done with this and this and this and this, the next place to expand is this mountain range to the water. So I've kind of pre-claimed, like I said, this river going to this biome and then up here to the ocean, and then this river goes through here. It is really cool. And if I want to build in the mountains where like you have a ton of tiny builds in the mountain faces all connected by like tunnels and bridges and things, I've always wanted to do that, and this would be perfect for that. I could have an entire base made up of tiny builds all connected by bridges and walkways and catwalks and stuff. Super cool. So that's my next idea, is to like start over with base version 2 here. And this used to feel so far away, now it's getting closer. And then down here, I might revisit this area. Because remember, south of this, I claimed all this too. Because I do have some builds sporadically placed here. This is going to be my experimental section. But I might just start building here, like just building a village or something. And these mountains that are tree grassy mountains, these are stone mountains and snow mountains. So very long, skinny, oblong base, like very skinny. It goes like this with a little bulge here, I guess. Right here. Here's, well, this whole bulge. Right? Other than that, it's really skinny. North to south is just the way I've been building. This is all mine too, but this is going to stay natural. Right? I'll post and then something here. Okay. Anyway, we're supposed to talk about this today. But there you go. That's it. Let me look at the side view here. And you can see it's just a tall wall. Pretty basic. It does look really cool from here. Like if you're walking around here, this looks really cool. Although I totally forgot to show you. But anyway, yeah, it looks really awesome. So there you go. Back to the video. All right, so that's it, including the areas of what we're gonna do around it, maybe. Alrighty, so let's go. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna get my sand. I'm not gonna grind a bunch of sand with you because that's kind of boring, but I'm gonna show you. So let's see here. Sand is that way, so let's just fly over there. I'll meet you there. Just kidding, I had to fly home and get some more rockets, and then I'll meet you there. Alright, right around this corner from the village should be my sand base. There it is. Cool. I brought a stack and a half of rockets, and I just tapped in my second stack. Good thing I've got more. Oh, hey, buddy, you have a visitor. Cool. Anyway, this is my sand base. I don't know if you haven't seen this in years, but if you go here and go through the nether, you hear too. But anyway, I took this thing over, dug it out, I preserved it, fixed it up. This used to be really high sand hills like this, but I took them all down. Still looks pretty cool. It just looks like an excavation site. It doesn't look terrible. Because whenever I do things like terracotta, I dig it out from under the ground and preserve the outside. But sand, you can't do that unless you put sandstone on top. So, well, this is all sandstone. Beautiful. So anyway, so it still looks nice and preserved, right? I think it looks fine. Looks acceptable. It doesn't look like it destroyed anything. So there's two things I need to do. I need to get actual sandstone. And then I need to get sand so I can make sandstone. Because if I start digging down this sandstone, there might be rock under there. And I don't want this to be exposed rock. That would be terrible. I just, at the very worst, in air quotes, I just want to keep digging it out to look nice. I mean, I still think this looks completely acceptable on a SMP. Because it just looks like an excavation site. Looks like plains, right? Like desert plains. It does not look like I took down hills and hills of sand. Unless you saw the preview of it or the before version. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out this chunk of sandstone and see if I can keep it looking nice and acceptable. And then that'll be our video. Like I said, I'm not going to grind for sand and sandstone on camera. I just want to show you how I've been doing it because I have not shown you this process. Again, other materials, you can't even tell I've stepped foot in a place, right? But when it comes to sand, you can't really do that. The next world, I think there's been talk about having like a resource part of the world. So we'll have the world, and then there'll be a world border, and then you go to the resource part, which can be regenerated. Which, sure, whatever Epona wants to do, whatever the majority wants to do. I've never played that way, so I'm not fully understanding how that works. Like, do we teleport to the world generation? See, I'm making it look more interesting too. Here we go. Do we like teleport to the ore collection part of the world, or do we have to like walk there every time? So like if I need to get like a stack of sand, do I have to like walk for 10 minutes to get my sand, or do I TP out there? Of course, I'm talking about when my own base doesn't have any more supplies, right? Because I plan on getting most of my supplies from my own base in the new world. And then once I, run out of supplies in my own base area, I'll have to go to the resource part of the world. But I'm just wondering, like, how do we get there? Because what if I'm like, I need a stack of iron, and then I gotta walk for an hour to go get it? Like, that's not cool. So I don't know how that's gonna work. I really don't know. But apparently people prefer that method of playing, so then they don't do things like this and destroy a biome to get resources. But I'm trying to be careful not to destroy the biome. See, I'm trying to make it look nice, see? See? I'm making it look nice. Like it's supposed to be this way, and you can't even tell if I didn't tell you. There's no way you would have known that I've been digging this up for 4 years or 5 years if I didn't tell you, right? So anyway, so this is one area I'm going to be getting stuff, is here. I'm going to go through and keep it looking nice. So if there's no more sandstone, which there's not, I'm not going to keep digging this layer out until this other stuff is knocked down, right? So I can knock that down. I can knock some of this down to match this. I can knock all of this down to match this. This is natural. I did not do that. Oh, there's like a sand trap or something. I did not do this. That's natural. So anyway, I'm keeping it natural looking. So I am going to do one test though. I am curious if this is the last layer, if there's rock under here. Oh, there's more sand under there. Okay, so I could, whoops, I could dig out that layer, but I want to go through all this first, so I do it level by level, so there's not a hole or something. But I'll figure it out, because this is all sandstone. This would be nice. Here, I guess. But this is also the base of this, so I don't want to dig down too far. Anyway, you get the idea, right? Keep it looking nice. Get my resources very strategically. I've also been experimenting with knocking this down. That's why it looks like this. Just because I want to see if I can knock all this down and keep it looking nice. But to get the stuff, you kind of gotta go at the right angle here so you can get the stuff without it getting trapped by the sand. I'm going layer by layer and just seeing how this looks without getting too suffocated. You get the idea, right? Oh yeah, see, that looks fine. See? Again, strategic. I'm trying to capture everything. Did I get any of those blocks at all? Or do they all get trapped by the sand? I can't tell. Okay, no, they're right here. Good. Anyway, so as I dig this back, right, and the sand falls, it's a great resource for sandstone, obviously. I can actually fill that in. There we go. Yet it's not destroying anything. See? This, of course, I'll knock down, and it'll be level with all this. Like I said, I just want to make sure I'm actually getting the stuff. Okay, that's digging back, so I better get in here and make sure I get it. And again, be careful not to suffocate myself. Okay, so I could go, ooh. Oh, hey. I did that light bulb go off. Do you see what I'm thinking? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I can go in here, right, and get all of this. Go in and get everything in here. And I'm full, so let me show you what I'm going to do here. This is fun. Okay, I'm glad I'm doing this part on camera, because it is actually interesting what's happening right now. If I go in here and dig out back, right, I can go deeper than I want to, and then when I'm done, what I have to do when I'm done is I just knock it down like this. Boom. See? And then you can't even tell it's digging a hole. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, look at that. Yep, I can dig back as far as I want, all the way to rock, and then knock down the face of it, and you won't even tell I was in there. Oh, that's perfect. Let me put a light in here, because there's actually a hole back here, I think, yeah. Oh, that is so cool. I can dig down, too. Look at, I can dig down. Because again, yep, look at that. I can dig down the rock. Because again, oh my gosh, there's a lot in there. How deep does this go? Anyway, look at that. See? I can go all the way down the rock because I can just cover it up when I'm done. And you'll never know. How far can I go? I can go right here, right? Oh, that's so cool. Well, there you go. I'm going to definitely have plenty. Actually, I probably don't want to dig that down, do I? Because then that's going to screw up the front again. Did I screw up the front? Yeah, I screwed up the front. Okay, so let's fix the front. Dang it. I should have left it. Should have left it alone. Because now that part does look like crap. Okay, let me fix the front of this here. Let me put a piece up. There we go. There we go. That's not gonna get some sand in there. Anywho, let me fix what I screwed up. I want to get one up there. There we go. Yep, keep going. Have to sacrifice my sand. Okay, for my mistake. There we go. Okay, you get the idea. I can go in here and I can clean all this out. Let me put something down here because it might spawn and come back. Okay, there. Clean it all out. Knock it down. The sand will cover my hole. You won't even tell I've been there. And it's going to be perfect. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, that's going to be my project off camera. And then I don't even have to... Hey. Goofball. Whatever. Oh my gosh, thank you. What did I get? Rabbit's foot. Raw rabbit. Okay, anyway. So then I don't even have to destroy this anymore. I hate using the word destroy because I think it looks fine. But I can just get everything from here. Look at, I can go all the way around. Look at, I can go all the way around this mountain and get all that sandstone. And then just knock down the sand when I'm done. And you won't even tell I carved that out. Oh, that's awesome. Super exciting. Okay, well, there you go. So there's my next off-camera project. Like I said, I have to grind that for a while so I can, prepare for my building project. So there we go. Okie dokie. I think that's going to be it today. I talked about my little build, my little big build that I'm making. Little because it's like little Pompeii, but it's a big build. And then I talked about how I'm going to get everything. Talked about my sand resource I've been using for 5 years. I've been digging this out. I think it looks fine. And then now I figured this out too. So what a productive video today. It was going to be quick and easy and not much to say, but it ended up being a very nice video. So if you enjoyed, if you did, like, subscribe, and that's it. Nothing else to say. I'll see you next time.